Poet Weekly, week 28. How's everybody doing out there? The usual, new week, new poem. This one is entitled Molotov for Success, and it goes a little something like this. Let's go through the wire, throw Molotovs through the air just to connect to my enemy and spark a fire. Let's go through the wire, throw Molotovs through the air just to connect and burn the souls of the liars. I've gone through many years of repression, picked apart by these vultures and dissected, suicidal in thought, what else would you have expected? I lay in the grave just to be resurrected in the upcoming seconds. I'm not a hero, so I'm nexted. Make way for the very best man. Lacking of melatonin deep in the skin of the general leader, the yes sir, yes man. I thought by voicing and leading the revolt that I would be boistered up and not treated like a joke. Better yet be viewed as a joke, the electrical signal that was sent from the sky as a flash in a bolt. To strike into your brain, bleed through the passion in your heart, you would have love for the quotes that I spoke. That were similar to the king's dream with the emotions they'd evoke. But instead I was just another in a simile line right next to the king. The way power and order is distributed in this country makes me feel like I am following the direction of the Nazi regime. Better yet, being led by the LRA regime, because right next to the group we call the devil was a group of men of my own kind stabbing me in the back and digging my grave with their shovels. I thought of all the atrocities that occurred, shipped me from one land to another just for your own greed, and yet you call me your brother. Then you were the first man to actually enslave your brother on some Antonio Johnson-ish, yet you claim to share mothers. When the years went by and Rosa decided to not move from her seat and things got hot in the kitchens, you were the first one to refrain from the heat. When the king was pronounced dead, even so-called devils were outraged, yet this is the time you decided to remain in your seat. When the 80s came through, you feared the black and blue. When honestly you were the one slinging the cane, so the only thing to fear was you. When Rodney King was getting beaten to a pulp, you raised hell in the street, once again not realizing the only thing that got harmed were you. Police didn't even try to stop it because they knew it was the first time they had ever seen passion in you. Yet it was directed towards the destruction of our group. All I'm really trying to say is, you must know your history in order to better your future. If you completely ignore the past, it will become your future. Black on black crimes doesn't have to be infinite. Only thing in this world that is time. So when we learn to stop putting time on our heads is when all of the prejudice and violence against ourselves will end. We've been our own worst enemies since our brothers lost the melatonin in their skin. The lighter they got, the more the word separation infringed. Black on black crime doesn't have to be infinite. There's a little bit of X and the king in all of us. The day we realize it is the day that the first Molotov will be thrown, to burn down the enemy and the liars and reclaim our throne. Remember, black on black crime doesn't have to be infinite. See you next week.